All my life, I've been a global traveler, seeking cultures and traditions that are just as vibrant today as in times past. We're opening doors, stepping into worlds most never see, because that's where the best stories are, behind closed doors. We're sharing stories of local life and the working world, plus spending time with some of the most interesting people you'd ever want to meet. It's truly privileged access that always leaves me excited to explore more. In the 13th century, while most Turkish Muslims worshipped in iconic mosques, an entirely new display of praise began to gather a following. Known as the Sema ritual, it was the vision of Sufi master Rumi. The purpose to honor Allah and chronicle the spiritual path man must take on the journey to enlightenment. Semasens from the Mevlevi order of Whirling Dervishes are the only ones allowed to perform the ceremony. It's captivating for us, but meant for the heavens. A powerful display performed in a trance-like state.
While we whirl, we say Allah. It's the name of the God. We don't think anything about our family, our work, other people, just Allah.
With unwavering focus, the Semasen complete as many as 2,000 turns during the Sema ritual. Every spin, every body position is a deliberate, intentional gesture meant to honor God and embrace His benevolence.
Right hand looks to sky, and the other looks to around. It's the symbolize that comes from the God. We should share with people.
The Sufi Mevlevi order was outlawed in 1925 and is still technically illegal. But the right to perform the Sema ritual was reinstated in 1954. Turkey's Whirling Dervishes ritual is such a rare treasure that it is one of UNESCO's masterpieces of the oral and intangible heritage of humanity. We look forward to sharing Istanbul's many hidden treasures with you. One of the most beautiful parts of Russia has to be the ballet. Many children here dream of becoming ballet dancers and start dance classes as early as the age of 4. The graceful pirouettes and precise acrobatic leaps seem effortless, yet the profession is incredibly demanding. The dancers put in countless hours of rehearsal daily, pushing their bodies towards an elusive goal: perfection. And when the curtain rises, every bit of the effort was well worth it. Russia is a country synonymous with ballet, which blossomed as entertainment for the royal court in the mid-1700s. Catherine the Great was such an avid patron that she had a personal theatre built in her winter palace to entertain guests after dinner. Today, Russian dancers continue to be the most sought after in the world, just as the icons Diaghilev, Pavlova, Nureyev and Baryshnikov were before them. Equally well known are Russia's elegant venues, the Bolshoi Theatre in Moscow and the Mariinsky Theatre in St. Petersburg. Both are magical settings for enjoying the fairy tale on stage. The ballet is a truly inspiring art form, and no trip to Russia would be complete without experiencing it. Viking river cruises, sharing backstage access to Russia. Each evening behind the theatre curtain, a group of talented young performers prepare to test their limits. We're backstage watching the Shanghai acrobatic troupe rehearse for tonight's performance. If you like Cirque du Soleil, you'll love this. It's been said China embraced acrobatics some 2,000 years ago in the Han Dynasty. That's when the emperor first had artists perform for the imperial court. He was mesmerized by their dexterity and strength, their passion and absolute focus. the art form quickly flourished.
Ever since I was very little, I knew that I wanted this life.
关键是如果你热爱这个行业的话，
The key is, if you love your work, you're always energized and pushing to your limits. The audience feels that, and we share the excitement.
The performances are breathtaking, but the joy and spirit these acrobats bring to their art is what really stands out. You can sense their enthusiasm as they strive for perfection, challenging themselves daily to push the envelope, then push it further, and then take it beyond that. You too can explore this art form and perhaps even have a go yourself as you explore the wonders of China with Viking. The waltz was once the most scandalous dance in Europe. Its provocative moves and intoxicating atmosphere causing an uproar in the 18th century. While forbidden by the church and authorities, behind closed doors, the nobility embraced the waltz and the romantically formal ambiance that accompanied it. Eventually, Emperor Joseph II opened a few balls to the public, fueling the Austrian passion for the waltz. Today, love for the waltz, even among the young, remains strong, thanks in large part to the school of Professor Elmayer, Austria's noted dance and etiquette expert.
It was started in 1919. My grandfather was an officer at the Imperial Army, a cavalry officer, and of course there was no army anymore after the First World War, and he thought how to be in a job again where he had to do with young people. That was his objective. He read a book of an officer who was in the Grande Armée of Napoleon, who founded a dancing school in Paris. And he said, that's an idea. And he was a good friend of Margraf Pallavicini here.
And this is the Pallavicini.
Palais Pallavicini here.
So it's the ground floor of an old palace.
The Pallavicinis had no horses anymore. They had motor cars in the meantime. And so he said, you can convert these stables into a dancing school.
Yeah, so these arches, these used to be the stables.
All this used to be the stables, yeah. The teachers here were all aristocrats, and the lady assistants, he took all the beauty queens of Austria. So he started very successfully with that mixture here.
Thousands of students have successfully learned the elegant waltz on the parquet floors of Tanzschule Elmayer. So I, a self-proclaimed non-dancer, volunteered a bit reluctantly to give it a whirl.
Perhaps you could show me some of the typical steps of the Viennese
The
waltz.
lady always starts with the left foot back, the gentleman with the right foot forward. So it's just very simple. You do left foot back, then the right foot to the side, and close. And now it's important that the left foot takes over the weight, because the right foot goes forward, forward, side, close, and left foot back. It's left foot back, side, close, and right, forward, side.
We're drawing a box,
Yeah, it's called the carré.
the carré.
Of course, Viennese Waltz is also about turning. It's a back, side, close, and now the right foot forward, and forward, side, close. Then again, left, side, right foot, forward, side, left foot. That's the basic steps.
From these few steps, the grand Viennese ball culture was born, a phenomenon that forever changed the face of European dance.
The lady comes to the gentleman and she puts her right hand into his left hand, and she comes closer, puts her left hand on his upper arm, yeah? And you must come much closer. This is why it was prohibited for centuries. And lean back. So now we do it without turning
this
first.
is going to be the
Just
complicated
without,
part.
No, this is the easy one because I'm leading.
Okay.
So your left foot goes back.
I don't usually follow men.
Let's make an exception. The left foot goes back, and back, side, close, and forward side and back side and forward side and back side. Close. Forward side.
Oh, yeah. This is not so difficult.
No, you see?
You just have to have the right man.
How many minutes did we need? This is Viennese Waltz. There are about 450 ball festivities in Vienna every year, so you can have a ball virtually every week.
More than 300,000 participants flock to Vienna every year for events like the legendary Opera Ball, with Professor Elmayer presiding for nearly a decade.
The opening ceremonies have their traditional basis in the introduction of young people into society.
Sort of like a debutante ball.
Yeah, this is debutante.
So before the debutantes dance, amateurs who have been trained here open the ceremony.
They do. They open the ball. They come in with the polonaise. Then they line up on the sides, and after them come in the guests of honor. The Viennese Waltz is always the last dance. After they have danced, I take the microphone and say, alles Walzer. And that
Everybody
means
waltz.
everybody waltz.
Experiencing the waltz in the hands of an expert, it was easy to understand how the dance captivated a nation and the world. Plus, I discovered a neat trick. If you're dizzy, just try a quick spin in the other direction. Sharing Professor Elmayer's passion for the waltz and Viennese ball tradition was an experience I won't soon forget. I hope you'll do what I did and try your hands and feet at this Viennese tradition. Flamenco, it's believed, was born in the 18th century. Graceful, sensual, filled with sorrow and raw emotion. Its roots lie in Andalusia. Flamenco was a way for the people to express their dreams, to wash away the weariness of everyday life. A way to escape themselves, if just for a moment. It's a passion that continues to thrive.
Intentamos que el flamenco que hacemos sea de corazón a corazón.
Our flamenco is heart to heart, eye to eye. It is truth. Flamenco is not something you do, it's a hunger you feel deep inside. A way of speaking without uttering a single word.
There are more than 80 documented forms of flamenco, each one requiring a mastery of feet and body. The art form is held in such high regard, it holds a place on the UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage list. Flamenco is pure feeling. With improvisation at its heart, each artist shares a piece of themselves. Fresh and authentic, a soul laid bare.
We reach deep inside and speak from the heart, till we exhaust our bodies. But the fire burns white hot inside, so we're always looking ahead to our next chance. This is the wall of flamenco.
El flamenco.
In Barcelona, it's easy to immerse yourself in flamenco. I hope you'll explore more of the city's cultural treasures and traditions. Join us again here on Viking.TV as we open more doors around the world on our quest to explore the planet's most fascinating cultures and delightful traditions.